Jerk off.
Blade through the stop sign.
Yeah, you did. You didn't stop, bro. You didn't stop. You blazed through the stop sign. You. You. Yeah. I got something for you. I'll stick it right up your mouth. Yeah. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, get off.
What we have here is a situation where one individual is alleged to have breached the stop sign, whether this is the old California roll when you kind of cruise your way through, he blew through it completely, or he did in fact heed it and he was just misunderstood or misseen by the other person. That's the setup as much as we can tell. What unfolds in the video, however, shows how what simple traffic misdemeanor or perception thereof can lead to some potentially very serious consequences. Let's take a look.
Jerk off.
Blade through the stop sign.
Yeah, you did. You didn't stop, bro. You didn't stop. You blazed through the stop sign. No, I'm not fucking police. I'm telling you, stop at that stop sign. There's kids around here.
I'm minding your business, guy.
I'm minding my business.
You're
I'm minding my business. I'm minding your shit.
Don't talk to me like
Fuck you. Fuck you. Yeah. I got something for you. I'll stick it right up your mouth. Yeah.
Come on.
Come on. Come on. Oh,
Get the fucking ground.
oh.
Honey, call 911.
No.
Get on the fucking ground.
No.
Get on the ground.
Ground.
Can you call 911?
Ground. Get on the
Can you call 911?
NYPD, get on the ground.
Okay. Mom.
Get on the fucking ground now. Put your hands on your head, you fucker. Who the fuck do you think you are?
I'm telling you, there's kids around here, motherfucker.
You don't pull a
There's
fucking gun.
you were coming at me.
Put your hands
I
on
was protecting myself.
Put
I
your
was
hands on your
protecting
fucking
myself.
head. Put your fucking hands on your head.
Hey, Ma! I was protecting myself. You were coming at me. You
I was
chased
not
me.
coming at you. You were not even
chased
stopped
me.
yet.
You chased me in the parking lot. You don't live here.
I live
You
right
don't
here.
fucking live here.
I live right fucking here.
You don't
You
fucking live here.
You're not
You
gonna
don't fucking live here,
I do.
motherfucker.
Nice fucking
Ma!
shot. Get your hands on your fucking head.
This guy's got a gun
Step
on
back. Get your hands on your fucking head. He pulled a knife on me. Step back, ma'am. Step back.
Well, that escalated quickly, as Ron Burgundy would say. What you'll have noticed straight away is that this is a war of words going on. What's also significant here is you have a guy in a car, outside of his car, arguing with another guy who's a pedestrian. At some point during this confrontation or this situation unraveling, a conscious choice was made to exit the vehicle and engage this individual. This is red mark number 1. Why? Why need to? Why bother? If he's questioning parentage, if he's calling you every name under the sun because you blew a stop sign, even if you didn't, a simple, sorry, probably would have ended this here and now. But it didn't. So let's just assume maybe he parked up and was getting out of his car and that's when the confrontation took place. Because we don't know, we're only assuming. What happens and what follows is a he said, she said argument. You blew a stop sign. No, I didn't. You blew a stop sign. No, I didn't. You blew a stop sign. No, I didn't. This is not dialogue designed to reach a mutually amicable conclusion or indeed resolve any given situation. There's a technical term for this, so excuse me if I indulge in a little scientific terminology for right now. We call this a pissing contest. No winner, no result, no real purpose. Just how high up the tree can you get your stream to mark this territory as yours? Now, the gentleman that is saying the driver blew the stop sign, clearly it's his neighborhood. I'm assuming he may have kids, otherwise nothing would have inflamed his passions in such a manner. But let's look at why they're getting inflamed. Is it what actually happened or what could have happened? Where are his thought processes here? Because the guy blew a stop sign with no one around except the other man to see it? Okay, big deal. Granted, something in the future could happen, but right there, nothing did. Is this worth the engagement? I'd suggest possibly not. But he did, and here we are.
Your shit.
Don't talk to me like
Fuck you. Fuck you. Yeah. I got something for you. I'll stick it right up your mouth. Yeah.
Come on.
Come on.
Unfortunately, he lost such control of his emotions, he thought it would be a good idea to pull a blade and threaten the other individual. At this point, the firearm comes into play. Pause, freeze frame. Right here, right now, we have a blown stop sign or an allegation thereof, and we have two guys that potentially are going to kill each other. This is ego stupidity in a nutshell. In a nutshell. I'm not saying that the chap having the knife pulled on him shouldn't have pulled the gun. Because if someone pulls a knife on you, absolutely, you defend yourself in any way you can. And that's not an easy thing to do against a blade. But the fact we're in this situation in the first place where he has to pull his gun to defend himself rather than getting back into the car, rather than offering an apology, albeit an insincere one, rather than being the bigger man and walking away, they're not backing down. They're peeing up that tree. They're seeing how high they can get. And they're both now in a position where they won, or even both could die over this. This comes back to what I always say. Violence is not nice. It's not pleasant, and it's never fun. Why people have these revenge fantasies, these ideas of you disrespect me and I will make you pay, it's nonsense. People are not going to go home at the end of the day to their families. Children are going to be without fathers. Wives are going to be without husbands. Is it worth it? When you make these choices, when you make these decisions, ask yourself that, is this a good idea? If you're being attacked, by all means, do what you need to do to get away from that. But as often as not, unless Captain Kirk beams down in front of you, there's not a lot of instantaneous attacks. There's always something leading up to it, and there's always a way to get out.
Call 911.
Okay, Mom!
Get on the ground now! Put your hands on your head, you
The punchline here is the gentleman with the weapon was an off-duty officer, or so it is believed. Is it smart? What's he going to do here? All right, you're out in an argument, the guy threatened to pull a knife on you. Are we looking at a crime here? Of course. You don't pull a knife on someone for an argument over a stop sign. But is it worth killing him over? Because that's the situation he could have got into. You've got the video. You know where the guy is. I don't think it's going to take Sherlock Holmes to deduce who this fellow is if you then want to lay charges at a later date. When you've got everything you need and you are safe, why take this one further? No one gets out of this situation looking good. Both people look like idiots. Both people acted like idiots. There are degrees to the idiocy. But just because one person is less stupid than the other doesn't mean their actions are good. And this is what we have to think about when we consider our own self-defense tactics, strategies, and approaches. It's not just the physical, guys. This is a drum I keep beating, and I will continue to beat it. When we are talking about protecting ourselves, not defending ourselves, protecting ourselves, it has to be an all-encompassing strategy that gets me home at the end of the day, hopefully with no damage to myself and no damage to someone else. Because life is way short enough as it is without bringing it to a premature close. Thanks for joining us, guys, as always. Please like, subscribe, and share. Comment, do whatever you want. We read them all, we enjoy them all. You can follow me on Facebook, Aftermath of Fight After the Fight, YouTube, channel of the same name. And I'm also on Instagram, HavoCount, and on Twitter at AfterMathematic. Once again, a big thank you to my compadres, the Budo brothers. As you can see, I'm rocking the hood gi today. For those of you that don't actually have one of these yet, may I strongly suggest you invest in them. These are so comfortable, they're so good to wear, they're warm, they keep you insulated, and let's be honest, they look the business. Get yours at budobrothers.com, tell them the Hound sent you, and I'll see you next time.